Corey, how about you?
I don't really know if I can answer this question fully until after we see what the Ocarina remake is. Because we already know what
Mm,
they can do. We already know what they can do with the 2D Zeldas, right? With Link's Awakening, right? It's a pretty faithful remake with a nice, amazing, shiny coat of paint on it. But they did tweak some of the gameplay stuff. They did tweak some of the puzzles. They did tweak some things here and there. A lot of quality of life stuff. For the 2D Zeldas, I would love them to do that with every 2D Zelda. Right. Maybe not that art style specifically, but like, pretty faithful to that 2D design, but with a fresh coat of paint and fix the things that need fixed and so on. We already know what they can do for a faithful remake, right? With Wind Waker HD. I know a lot of people like to say that's a remaster, but it is a remake. It is a different graphical style. It is a different, they did fix the puzzles towards the end of the game. They did fix some of the other things. It is a remake, and we know what they can do with the remasters, right? With Skyward Sword HD, Twilight Princess HD, etc. It's the N64 games specifically that are the ones that need remade and I don't want to say revamped, but fixed in a lot of ways. And I really don't know how to say this until the Ocarina remake comes out. I think on the safe side, it's going to be faithful just because that's what people want, right? And I think Nintendo knows that's what people want. I think you'll find some new things here and there. I think the most amazing thing would be if they re-added the light temple and like they just gave you a new temple to play with, right? Like, I mean,
hmm
that's what they did with Link's Awakening DX, right? They added that color temple that you could only get to in Game Boy Color, right? It's not a great dungeon, but it was a cool idea. And so like if they add something like that while keeping the rest of the game kind of feeling the same, or like this is how I remember Hyrule Field looking, maybe they have people walking around, maybe they have some, I don't know, vendors or maybe they fill it with stuff. I don't know. But I think for Ocarina, you need to be faithful. And then depending on how that goes, you revisit, okay, will there be a Twilight Princess remake? How do we accomplish that? How are we going to change, do we change the beginning that everybody seems to hate? Do we change, the in between the stories, or in between the dungeon stuff, the filler stuff? Do we fix that? Do we change that? Do we get to go to the Twilight realm? Will there be a sequel? Those types of things. But yeah, I guess that's my long drawn out answer of like, I think the 2D games should definitely be faithful remakes with a fresh coat of paint. And then the 3D ones, I think you could play around a little bit with and still make them feel like the originals while expanding. So that was a long winded answer for no answer whatsoever. All right.